Get in the car. Please, just let us go. We won't tell anyone. Rain hammered the cracked pavement as Eleanor crouched on the wet street, shielding her 4-year-old daughter Marnie from the storm. Her voice trembled, barely audible over the thunder. Behind them, their rusted station wagon sat dead, smoke curling from its hood. The black sedan had pulled up without warning, driving fast, too fast, then suddenly braking hard. A man stepped out, tall and imposing in a dark coat, his eyes scanning the street behind him with sharp urgency. "Get in the car," he said, his voice low but commanding. "Now." Eleanor's heart pounded. She'd heard stories, single mothers, dark roads, men who never asked twice. "We're fine," she whispered, pulling Marnie tighter. "We're waiting for help." He glanced over his shoulder, jaw tight. "You have 60 seconds before they get here. Those men, they're not coming for me alone anymore. You're in their line of sight. Get in the car." Eleanor's blood turned cold. She followed his gaze and saw them. Headlights in the distance, coming fast, weaving aggressively through traffic. Without another word, she scooped Marnie into her arms and stumbled toward the sedan. The man opened the back door. She hesitated for only a heartbeat before climbing inside. He slid into the driver's seat and accelerated hard, tires screeching as the other vehicle closed in behind them. Eleanor held Marnie close, her daughter's small fingers clutching her sweater. The man drove with precision, sharp turns, sudden lane changes, his eyes constantly flicking to the rearview mirror. Whoever was following them was relentless. "Who are you?" Eleanor asked, her voice shaking. "Callum Reeves," he said, not taking his eyes off the road. "Why are you helping us? You were in danger too." For a moment, he didn't answer. The silence was heavy, broken only by the roar of the engine and the pounding rain. Then, quietly, he spoke. "My wife. Her name was Grace. She was caught in a situation like this. Wrong place, wrong time. Men chasing someone else, but she got in the way. I wasn't there. I couldn't protect her." Eleanor's breath caught. "I swore that day," Callum continued, his voice steadier now, "that I would never let anyone else go through what I went through. If I could save someone, anyone, I would, no matter the cost." Tears stung Eleanor's eyes. She looked down at Marnie, who'd fallen asleep against her shoulder, and felt the weight of his words settle over her like a blanket. "Thank you," she whispered. "I don't even know how to thank you." "You don't have to," Callum said softly. "Just keep her safe. That's enough." After losing their pursuers, Callum drove them to a small hotel on the outskirts of the city. Before leaving, he handed Eleanor a card, simple, embossed with his name and number. "If you ever need anything," he said, "call me." Eleanor took the card, her hands still trembling. "I will, I promise." Months passed. Eleanor rebuilt her life slowly, carefully. She found work, enrolled Marnie in preschool, and tried to put that terrifying night behind her. But she kept Callum's card tucked safely in her wallet, a quiet reminder that kindness still existed in the world. Then one evening her phone rang. The number was unfamiliar, but something told her to answer. "Eleanor?" Callum's voice was strained, urgent. "I need your help." Her heart raced. "What happened?" "One of my business partners has filed a case against me. He's accusing me of signing a fraudulent contract on September 12th, the night you saved me and Marnie. But I wasn't at that meeting. I was with you. The court won't believe me without proof." He paused. "You're the only one who can verify where I was that night." Eleanor's mind spun. She remembered the date. How could she forget? It was the night her life changed. "I'll testify," she said without hesitation. "Eleanor, this is a high-profile case. There will be media, scrutiny. You don't have to. You saved my daughter's life," she interrupted, her voice firm. "You risked everything for us. I'm not letting you face this alone." When Eleanor told her family about the court case, they reacted exactly as she had feared. "You can't get involved in this," her brother said sharply. "Do you know who Callum Reeves is? This will put you in the spotlight. It could be dangerous." "He saved us," Eleanor said quietly, "when no one else would have." "That doesn't mean you owe him this," her mother argued. "Think about Marnie." Eleanor looked at her daughter, playing quietly in the corner, and felt something shift inside her. Marnie was safe because of Callum, because he'd chosen compassion over self-preservation. "I am thinking about Marnie," Eleanor said. "I'm thinking about the kind of person I want her to grow up to be. Someone who stands up for what's right. Someone who doesn't turn away when someone needs help." Her family fell silent. The next morning, Eleanor walked into the courthouse. The courtroom was packed. Journalists, lawyers, business executives. Eleanor felt small, out of place. But when she saw Callum sitting at the defendant's table, his expression weary but resolute, she found her courage. When called to the stand, she spoke clearly, steadily. "On September 12th, Mr. Reeves was not at any business meeting. He was with me and my daughter. He saved our lives that night." Her voice grew stronger. "He was being chased by dangerous men, but he stopped to help us when our car broke down. He risked his own safety to protect two strangers. That's the kind of man he is." The opposing lawyer tried to discredit her, but Eleanor didn't waver. She produced the card Callum had given her, time-stamped photos from that night, and her own unwavering testimony. When the judge finally spoke, his voice was firm. "Based on the testimony and evidence presented, the court finds the defendant not guilty. Case dismissed." Relief flooded the room. Callum closed his eyes, exhaling deeply. Outside the courthouse, she found him standing alone, staring at the sky. "Callum," she said softly. He turned, and for the first time since she'd met him, she saw tears in his eyes. "You didn't have to do that," he said, his voice breaking. "You had every reason to stay away." "No," Eleanor said, stepping closer. "You gave me and Marnie a future. The least I could do was give you yours back." Callum smiled, a real, genuine smile. "Grace would have liked you. I think I would have liked her too." They stood together in the fading light, two souls bound by circumstance, by loss, by an unshakable belief in the power of kindness. Kindness, after all, is the only thing we leave behind that truly matters. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, subscribe, and comment.